Hello, podcast people. We are doing something a little different today. For those of you that don't know, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Roberta.
We are teachers and moms. Again, for those of you who don't know, maybe you're new here, but we teach other educators to be able to work all day and disconnect from that teacher identity at night so that you can feel more connected, calm, confident, present, and patient.
Yeah, we both live in Minnesota with our families, and we enjoy spending time with our families and doing outdoor activities and taking care of ourselves.
And I'm a mama of two, a wife, and a 7th through 12th grade industrial tech teacher so for those of you that don't know, that's a shop. I teach welding and woods, and then I also have a master's in industrial technology.
I'm also a mama of two, a wife, an educator, and a creator. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom, and an entrepreneur, just navigating that work, family, social life balance or harmony.
Yeah, so why the heck are we here today? As teachers, we have both struggled with taking care of ourselves in the past, and we now love helping other teachers like you with your own mental, physical, social, and spiritual journey in and outside the classroom to help prevent burnout in this ever changing, crazy post pandemic world of education.
Yeah, a few years ago, we did something that completely changed the trajectory of our lives. So, the short version here is we're hosting a free class, and you are invited. You can save your seat in this free class by clicking the link in the show notes. This won't be available forever, so don't miss out. So, act quickly.
Okay, so back to our story and why we are so passionate about this. So, today we have figured out how to prioritize ourselves and our needs in order to be our best selves, wives, mothers, and teachers. And we get to help you do that very same thing for yourself so that you don't have that icky burnout feeling that we all know too well. And it hasn't always been this way. So before, we had many of the same problems that you might have right now. Never enough time, taking huge amounts of work home, finding ourselves saying yes to way too many things, and feeling way overstretched in all directions of our lives. We felt like teaching was taking over our lives, and all of the other parts of us took a hit because of it. We wanted to continue teaching without feeling total exhaustion by 3 p.m. and resentment towards the profession. We needed practical ways to prioritize our emotional, spiritual, mental, and social needs. And we wish there was a way that we could get all of the grading, lesson prep, and extras done during our contracted hours so it didn't follow us home. But we didn't have any idea where to start. We felt super overwhelmed and just thinking about trying to fit one more thing into our day.
Yeah, so Roberta, first started to notice that I really needed a big change, and then I needed to add boundaries around my career after I had had my second child. With my daughter, my first child, she loved coming to school with me and playing with the kindergarten manipulatives and looking through books. And so I didn't really feel a ton of guilt working late because she was with me and enjoying herself, and we still had kind of like that quality time, even though I was working. But that really changed once I had two kids. I went back to work after maternity leave, and it honestly felt like I was drowning. I really didn't want to stay after contract hours anymore. And I spent all day away from my baby, and I missed, those milestones. And I didn't want to miss any more of that time with him than necessary. So I really didn't want to stay after contract hours. I wanted to be able to be with him and see his development, and spend time with both of my kids. And so maybe you've felt something similar. I thought that I could fix the problem just by making like a personal rule to leave as soon as the contract hours were over. But I didn't really think through the systems and structures I would need to put in place to make that happen, especially if I didn't want to be lesson planning on my living room floor at night after the kids went to bed, which I didn't want to do because that took away precious time with my husband. So this is the point when I started reading personal development books, reading blogs by other teachers, following teachers and teacher groups on Facebook and Instagram to really learn as much as I could to find the systems and strategies that would work best for me because there is no one size fits all. So key part there is I found what worked for me. And then shortly after the pandemic hit, I needed a whole new set of structures, but I had had the tools in my belt to figure those things out. So I learned how to structure my prep time to be as efficient as possible. I learned how to say no to extra committees or groups that I just didn't have the time or bandwidth for. And I learned how to, there was even one group that I had to say, I'm sorry, but because of these new responsibilities I have, that means I can no longer be a part of this group. And I had to learn to speak up for myself. I learned strategies for my mental and emotional health to be able to work through the guilt and stress of leaving things unfinished, to be able to just be completed the next day, not at home and not over the weekend.
So I love your story, Roberta, because it's so easy to look at us now, like where we are, and be like, oh, it must be easy for you. But what we forget
Right.
is like we were all at this point at some time in our lives. And so for me, I realized many years ago, this goes back to my very first year of teaching, that I couldn't sustain the life that I was living any longer. I was literally, you guys, I was crying every second that I wasn't in front of other people. I would cry on the way to work, on the way home from work. I would cry during my prep, which of course left no time for prepping. And I couldn't focus on anything to get the work done that I needed to because the overwhelming stress was that bad. I'd work 12-hour days and go in on the weekends because of the workload that I had. I had 5 separate preps with 3 different shops and a classroom, and it was far too much for a first year teacher. So, all you first year teachers out there, maybe you can relate to this. This year, I learned how important boundaries really are. I felt out of control with everything, so I started to take control of the things that I could. One of those being my nutrition. I never felt confident in my body, and my energy was so far gone that there was no time left for my husband when I got home at night. That year, focusing on nutrition alone, I lost 50 pounds and I started to gain back the energy I had lost. My position ended up getting cut after that year, and my burnout was so bad that I stayed away from teaching for 2 years after that. Fast forward to where I am now, and the school that I'm currently working in is where the pandemic world took place. I started gaining back the weight I had lost after both pregnancies with distance learning and knew that something needed to change. I joined a virtual fit gym where I took movement and nutrition to a whole new level. This, coupled with all the other strategies that we teach in the course, has put me on top of the world mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I am so passionate about nutrition and fitness, or just movement of our body, and all things mental and spiritual health, health wise as well. And I just really want to help everyone feel as good as I do with the course that Roberta and I have created, because it took us a long time to figure these strategies out, you guys. But, you know, if you if you went into research and everything and did as much as we did, it would take you years and years and years to figure all this stuff out. So what we've done is we've we've just put it all together and tied it up with a neat little bow for you guys. So I'm super excited to help everyone just feel as good as we do right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Before, we've kind of kept this to ourselves or only shared it with clients until now. So if you've been following us on social media recently, you know that we've been really busy working on something for all of you. Next week, late next week, we will be opening the doors to our signature course, This Repels Burnout. And to kick things off, we are hosting a brand new free class, the 7-step system to thrive, not just survive in life and your educational career. Inside, we will be walking through the same system that we will be sharing in our course, the same one we've really only previously shared with paid clients. So if you're curious to learn more about this Repels Burnout, or if you yourself are struggling with overwhelm, then this class is really for you.
So, if you're like a lot of teachers and you struggle with saying no, or you're ready to achieve peace and happiness in your educational career and your home life, you guys, we don't just focus on school life. We are focusing on both here. We're focusing on the teacher as a whole. Maybe you're ready to stop drowning in your work, your overwhelm, your stress at school. You're ready to start taking responsibility for the problems in your life and start making this the solution for it. And when I say taking responsibility, I mean like taking control of the things that we can take control of, because it's so easy to get sucked into the negativity and politics of school, all the things that we really can't change. So we are talking about taking control of the things that we can change in our lives and not school. So also, if you are ready for a way to take back your time again, start living in a more positive and healthy way, if you are ready for harmony and rhythm in your home and your classroom again, then you are ready for this Repels Burnout.
Yes, but that class is not open yet. So in the meantime, we really want you at our free class.
All right. So here is the deal. Next week's free class will change everything you thought you knew about thriving in the teacher workplace. We are going to be sharing the 7-step system that we use now to thrive in our educational careers and in our lives in just 7 weeks. We're going to share the 6 myths and roadblocks, all the things that we've been hearing from teachers like you as we're talking to you on social media. Like, what are things holding you back from work, like living in this best life that you could live in? And also the roadblocks to avoid when working on thriving in your educational role. This is going to save you so much time. We're going to talk about why you don't need to quit teaching to start thriving in your life, and then what to do instead. We will talk about how to work with us more closely to start thriving in education and in your life. So we want you to save your seat by signing up with the link in the show notes.
Yes, so be sure to sign up for that class to see if we are right. You can save your seat with the link that's in the show notes, or visit our Instagram page, the Teacher Mamas Podcast, and in the bio, the link will be right there as well. Or you can, send us a message on Instagram and we can chat with you and send you the link right to your Instagram messages. So once you sign up for the webinar, you'll get an email with the link to join on the day. But the really cool thing is, if you can't make the webinar live, you will get an email the following day with the replay. So even if you're not sure you can make it live, still sign up, because then you can watch the replay at your own leisure, and that will be really beneficial and awesome. So head on over to Instagram and send us a message. Let us know, what is the biggest thing keeping you from staying and working within your contracted hours? What is that thing that keeps you working after that contracted hours? We would love to hear from you and hear that answer.
Okay, you guys. So the webinar is at 7 p.m. on January 12th. And don't forget, this is completely free, you guys. You're going to learn everything that we have been doing to help us thrive in education, and how you can be doing the same thing as well. So come sign up, and we are so grateful for you all as always. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
We want to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to us chat about healthy family living. We would love to hear your thoughts or any ideas you have for future episodes, so feel free to message us at theteachermamaspodcast@gmail.com or the Teacher Mamas Podcast on Instagram. It would also mean so much to us if you would leave a quick rating or review on whatever platform you're listening from.
If something really stood out to you today, don't forget to share it with someone else in your life that might need to hear it too. Spread the word. Please don't forget to share with your online community and tag us. For more positivity and inspiration on how we navigate life and the things we do on a daily basis to stay sane in the crazy, don't forget to go follow each of us on Instagram. Check the show notes for our handles.